Okay, I'm Greg from Piggy Smalls Barbecue. It is the beginning of January. We're in the Philadelphia area. It's -1 degrees outside, coldest day in 24 years in this area. But I figured I want to smoke a brisket today. That's what I want to do. So I have this brisket. It is not rated as prime, but it sure looks it. It came from Crowd Cow, some farm in Pennsylvania. Bought a piece of brisket. If you come and zoom in on this, you can see there's a lot of great marbling in here. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to trim it. There's not a lot of trimming going on because we're going to do this Texas style. So Texas style means we're going to give it a salt and pepper rub, and that's it. I actually had some Texas post oak shipped up to me, and we're going to smoke it on the big green egg because in temperatures this low, I think it's going to hold the temperature best inside the egg. So let's get this open. So we're going to get this opened up and out. Sometimes when you take it out of the cryovac like this, there's a little bit of a funky smell. It doesn't mean your brisket went bad. It sometimes just needs to air out a little bit. That smell will dissipate pretty quickly. You won't even notice it after a minute. This is a really, really nice, well-marbled brisket. Honestly, this is not rated as prime, but this looks better than prime. This is the best brisket I've seen since I did an Australian Wagyu one time that had this kind of marbling in it. So up here is your flat, back here is your point, so your flat runs above the point here. On this side is our fat cap. Now if you notice, most briskets, the fat cap is really thick and it covers the whole thing. This one doesn't have much, so there's really no trimming to be done on this side. We don't want it any thinner than this. There's no cap on it here, but I mean, you can see all that marbling in there. This is going to cook just fine. I mean, I'm not worried about it drying out. That's already cut for us. We don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything with this side. Usually this is thicker. We got to trim it down a little. There's already no fat sitting on here, so you know it shouldn't dry out because again it's so well marbled. But we really don't have to touch this side. Other than I'm just going to take this giant hunk off right there because that won't cook out. So on this side, we're going to take this off and we're going to cut down some of this. This is called the decal, where the point meets the where the flat meets the point. This will not render, and you know there's not a lot you can do with this. So let's just we're going to make this thing a little more aerodynamic by cutting these big hunks of fat out. And I'm not going to take it down I'm not going to get too aggressive here. I just want to make it so that it's kind of smoking it all around it. Like I said, these thick hunks are not going to render, so we don't need this on here. So we can take that off. Still, I'll just take it a little bit more down. Okay, that's all we need to do. Now up here, the rub can't penetrate this fat, and this isn't going to be here to protect it. That's what the other side's for. So we're going to just take this off. And like I said, we're doing this Texas style. Never been to Texas, but everybody tells me this is what Texas style is. This is salt and pepper. And like I said, I had some post oak sent up to me. So we're going to get as true to Texas style as we can get without going there. Of course, like I said, today we're going to reach a temperature of -1 degree, and we're going to hope our egg can handle that kind of temp. So we're just going to take this stuff out again. You don't have to be too perfect here. This isn't for competition. This is for home eating, so no one's going to judge it except for me. I'll take some of these pieces off here. You want to get the silver skin. You just want to get some of this stuff off. Again, this is quick, and this is a really, really just nice looking brisket. I always like to use this, is a Victorinox. Not an expensive knife. It's got good flexibility to it though. It lets you really kind of get in there. It's pretty sharp, but it's not like a $100 knife or anything. It's actually really inexpensive. You can find them on our website through Amazon. They're also not too expensive where if you leave them at a competition or something, you don't feel so bad about it. And it really does get the job done nicely. You see it takes this stuff right off. So the goal is, I'm going to get this on about midnight tonight. We don't have to put a probe or anything in it because for the first couple hours we're just going to try and get some good smoke on it, get some good color to it, and then after about 4 or 5 hours I'm going to take a look at it. So you may not get that on video because the person videoing this right now is not going to wake up and do that. And I'm probably not going to be able to carry the camera outside because it's going to be so cold. So if you missed that, I'll do my best to take a picture and make sure you can see what the color is. But once we get to the color we want, which is a nice rich mahogany color, then we're going to wrap it. And to keep it in true Texas style, I got this pink butcher paper. We're going to wrap it up in pink butcher paper. What that's going to do is it's going to stop sort of putting, you know, it's going to, instead of using foil, you know, you're kind of braising it once you put it in foil. We're not trying to do that, but we don't want to let as much smoke get on it anymore, because if you build up too much smoke on the outside, it can give it kind of a funny smell. So once we get the color we want, we're going to wrap it in butcher paper, let it finish cooking, and we're going for an internal temp around, you know, 200, 205. Once we do put it in the paper, that's when we'll get a probe into it. And then, you know, you don't always cook the temp there. You're cooking to feeling. So you want to feel how it goes through. It should feel kind of like going through warm butter. All right, so just a little bit more here, and then we'll be done, and we'll be getting ready to rub. Another piece, I just like to make it nice and clean. And that's it. I mean, we got a nice, pretty aerodynamic looking, the smoke should roll over this real nice. Got most of that silver skin off. This should take the rub pretty good. We cut most of this out. I mean, this is, you don't have to take all this out. Again, if this was for competition, we'd be trimming pieces out and cut this whole thing out, but I don't really need to do that with this. And like I said, on this side, there's really nothing to do. I mean, this is just perfect. Again, I wish there was more fat cap on it, but there's not. But again, it's so well marbled, I don't think it'll be an issue at all. We're going to smoke it fat side up. Opposite of what I would do for competition. Normally competition, I smoke it fat side down. People believe one way, people believe the other way, but in watching anything about Texas brisket, they're always doing the fat side up. And we're going to cook with a water pan and a green egg just to give it some extra moisture in there. So we'll get this thing seasoned up in a couple minutes. Be right back. Okay, so now we're going to season up our brisket. What we're doing, again, it's Texas style. We're going to do just a combination of some kosher salt and some coarse ground pepper. So this is not fine salt. I'm just using a container. So I mix it up 50-50. You got to shake it around a little bit because the salt tends to settle on the bottom. So give it a shake around. And you don't have to coat this like a really thick coating. You just got to put a nice light coating on the whole piece of meat, and then we're going to let it sit and hang out for a while our fire gets going in the big green egg out there. So we're just going to give it a nice cover. Every now and again, move this around a little bit because, like I said, the salt will settle a little bit. It's heavier than the pepper, so you end up with a lot more salt than pepper. You get all the sides really nice, get up here on the front of it. A little more once over again. Okay, so we're going to kind of let that settle into the meat. You don't have to really rub it in, like I know it's saying rub, but you don't have to rub it in there. Just let it kind of get tacky on there, and then we'll flip it over, do the other side. Same type of coating. Going to let it hang out for a little while, and then we'll get it onto the egg. And like I said, we'll go a couple hours before we start wrapping it up. So we're going to let it sit, and we'll get on the egg soon. Okay, it's midnight. We are at about 6 degrees outside. Brisket's just going on the egg. The egg's settled in about 275. We're going to close this thing down and run it for probably about 5 hours before we check on it. Got our water pan in there, if you can see. That's filled up with water. That's where some of this is coming off right now. We got our oak is cooking in there. So we're going to get this thing smoking, and like I said, we're at about 275 now. So see where it goes from there. See you in about 5 hours. Alright, so while we're unwrapping this, we skipped some steps because it was completely freezing out last night. This went on the green egg at 12 o'clock midnight last night. At about 5 a.m. I wrapped it in butcher paper. It's in foil now because when I took it off because it was finished, that's dinner later, bud. When I finished it, I didn't want it to leak in the butcher paper when I rested in the cooler. So when I finished it, we put it in the cooler. It's been in the cooler for a couple of hours, let it rest. It's still hot as can be, even though it's been in there almost 4 hours. We're going to get some gloves on, and we're going to slice it down. See that? It's pretty cool, as you hear from the background noise.
I eat my dinner.
You going to eat mac and cheese instead of Daddy's brisket? Huh?
What's that? A do glove?
Yeah. It's because this is hot. Alright. We don't want to lose that good stuff.
What's that? I turn lemon.
Yeah?
I turn lemon. Lick it. What? Lick it.
Okay.
You need to cut it?
I'm going to cut it. So the grains are running this way. That's why I always take a little tip off. So I'm going to just start slicing it down nice and easy. The front of this was really thin, so it got a little tough to keep up with in the smoker.
What's that way eating on?
That's brisket, bud. That's juicy brisket.
Juicy brisket. I like juicy brisket.
What?
I don't like juicy brisket. I like just macaroni cheese.
And as I spent all those hours, 12 hours to be exact, on the smoker with this, he still wants macaroni and cheese. So we're cutting the flat right now. You can see I got a really nice smoke ring in here. You can zoom in a little bit. We'll do the old,
I don't even see the
do a little finger test. I mean, you got a nice flat. If you fold it over on its side, it doesn't break. Pulls apart pretty nice. And now we're going to give it the taste test, which is
Like this?
that's
I
good
don't
brisket.
want to taste it.
Now, we're going to go from the flat.
You show me. You take over.
We're starting to go from the flat, and we're now getting into the point in a second here.
Oh, what's that?
So we're going to flip this around after another cut.
Okay. I like brisket. I do like mac and cheese.
As you can see, we're starting to switch over. We're still in the flat here, and the flat runs all the way up on. This is a much bigger flat than point. Now we're going to give it a turn. I mean, that's, if you're looking for juicy, that's it right there. You see the juice just pouring out of that thing. For these, you always go pencil thin slices, and for here, you go about double that. So take them a little bit thicker on the point. This is literally the best piece of meat there is with
Yeah,
the point of a brisket.
I want to do this.
And the best part there is,
I want to do
like I
this.
said, you get these perfectly juicy slices. This is your point up here. This is your flat run underneath. And these ends right here are what are called your burn ends. And you can recook them, do a lot of different things with them. We're all going to taste them.
I don't want to taste them.
No? Well, you're missing out, bud.
Mommy.
All right. So check it out. The recipe posted on the website. It's not much of a recipe, just salt and pepper, but I'll give you all the instructions on it. Thank you.